I planned this, 30 minutes early. You'd think I'd be organized, but no, I'm just not. Hey, welcome everybody. It's Aaron Live. This is our post-launch edition. Crawling out of the firestorm that is Twitter. I'm now the most hated man in comics, possibly right up there with Ethan Van Sciver. But despite all that, the show must go on, and we're going to do this. First of all, thank you all for supporting the campaign. It's got off to a great start. We're not even 24 hours into it. We've already hit our first stretch goal, which is a Empire logo sticker. Granted, it's not much, but they get way better as we move up. So we get to 40 and then 50,000. We're really getting some good stuff. So let's keep pushing it with our friends, families, neighbors, and of course, all of our now enemies on Twitter, apparently. So, anyway, yeah, I didn't sleep much last night. I was really sort of upset about the whole process. But you know what? Like I said, what can you do about it? My wife spent most of the night on there blasting people on Twitter, so she had a good time. She actually enjoys that a little bit more than I do. But well, let's see who's here, shall we? Postmaster Dan was the first guy in the door, so I'm going to give him a little bit of a shout out right there. What about has dropped in? Hail Aaron. Hail, what about? Thank you. Congratulations on the launch. Awesome campaign. Thank you, Kevin. Flying Saucer says, hi, guys. Joe Bernardo Lauren, just back the book. Thank you, Joe. No, I won't bug you about it because you promised last night you'd back today. So now that you've admitted to it, I won't get on your case. K Manifesto, what is up? Let's see, Aaron Louviere's here. Howdy, everyone. Let's see. Where are we at here? Flyfox Pro. Yeah, that's the rumor going around. One of my favorite ones. That's kind of funny. One of my favorite ones was Aaron used to be a nice guy. So for my entire life, I've been a nice guy, except last night because I launched on Ethan's show. Now I'm no longer a nice guy. I thought that was pretty interesting. Let's see, J-Dog is in the house. He was defending me on Twitter last night. Thanks, J-Dog. I appreciate it. You know, that's what I say. How can you hate this face? You can feel sorry for this face, but hate it? No. Lady Celtic Moon's giving me a big boo. I don't know. I think that's probably a positive. She's either booing somebody else. Certainly she's not booing me. Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick, as we all know, is always here. And let's see here. Yeah, Shelly, like I said, Shelly, she likes to Shelly Showtime likes to get into it. So that was good fun. I haven't even gone on today, and I probably won't go on. I'll just post what I need to post and not go on for a couple of days till everything sort of quiets down a little bit. Oh, because I went on Ethan's show last night, so now I'm public enemy number one. You know, I've betrayed our country, and I'm a what am I? I'm just an evil person who supports hate groups now. So, but right before that, I was the greatest guy in the world. So, you know, you make one bad video choice, and you know, public enemy number one. I should get like one of those, you know, like one of those old, get a copy of one of those old, like Pretty Boy Floyd or whatever, you know, public enemy number one, and then like cross that out, and then do one of me, new public enemy number one. Do a T-shirt or something. That would be good. Yeah, there's some truth in that. I think part of it was that Ethan actually went on and promoted that he was launching the campaign on his show, which I greatly appreciated because obviously we had a huge turnout, went really, really well. But I think that sort of, you know, raised everybody's, put me in the firing line there. So that's all right. They seem to like Dale Keown better than me, though. But I don't think Dale's on Twitter, so maybe that's what saved him. Yeah, that's exactly right. Where were all these people that? Yeah, I had somebody send me an email that we had 850 signups, so that means there's going to be 850 people get one of those cool cards. So that's cool. And but anyway, one of them was on my email list because I finally figured out how to work chimp mail or monkey chimp or what the heck's that thing called? Anyway, yeah, and put together, you know, the mailing list to send out because I was supposed to do that before the live stream, but then it was like I couldn't figure it out. I mean, it's not like you just go in and type in an email, MailChimp. You go in and type in an email, and then you just click it and send it. I mean, they've got like these templates, and you can't like type in the template. You have to like pick an area where you're going to type in, and then it appears over on this side of the screen. So you got to type over there, and then you got to import it back in. It was just like, are you kidding me? How convoluted can this possibly be? But anyway, so I finally got it sent out last night. And one of the guys got back to me and he said, please take me off your mailing list. I don't support Comicsgate books or anyone associated with Comicsgate. And I just said, okay, that's fine. I respect your decision. I said, you should try judging people based on their own personal merits and their projects rather than, you know, your preconceived notions of a loosely associated group. So I don't know. It's very strange. It's very strange. Let's see. People messing with others' money deserve whatever happens to them in this life or the next. Yeah, I'll tell you. The Dr. Max Retro Elixir is in the house. Thanks for coming in, guys. All right, so let's, you know, you guys have all seen it, but I paid good money for this, so let's play that. Let's play our little trailer video again, shall we? You know, for a second there, I was watching that video and I thought, did I pay that guy for that yet? But I did. I paid him yesterday, so we're good. Don't want to soil my reputation any further. Thanks, John. Appreciate it, man. You know, there's not a tier up there, but I'm contemplating maybe putting. I really went back and forth on this a lot because there's no way to protect it. So, and not suggesting that you, Lady Celtic Mood, would get the PDF and then just like send it around to your friends. But there was some concern about that as being an issue. And the other thing was that there's very few people that actually order, the PDFs, generally like less than 50, sometimes less than 30. And so on these campaigns, and so it became kind of a, is it really worth it? So at the last minute, I decided not to do it, but I may change my mind going forward. So I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, the music was an excellent choice on this video. And I don't know where the guy gets his music from, but it really was. It kind of had that rock and roll sort of Western feel to it in a lot of ways, like Graham's does on Alien Alamo, right? But it just worked out really, really well. Yeah, I had to, because these things are connected. And I knew there might be some people that buy Garbage Man through Amazon or through the comic shops and never, get the connection. But I wanted you guys that were supporting Wraith of God to understand there was a connection between the two. And once we hit that stretch goal, I think of 50K, that extra 3 pages of story that sort of explains that a little bit is going to be tagged on as an epilogue to the book. So now your 72-page graphic novel becomes 75 pages. Epic. It's pretty soon it's going to be like an 80-page giant. So, I used to be ripped like Graham, but I got to get back in shape. He's really intimidating me. I used to be a pretty big weightlifter, and now I just really haven't been for years. And the shoulder surgery earlier this year, just when I was getting back into it, that happened. And so, yeah. But yeah, he's an intimidating fellow. I got to get to, I've got the kind of face and head, we can be brothers, I used to get that. I was like Dan DiDio, I sort of look like too, because he's got bald on top and has the goatee. I mean, it's just like this, it's a bald guy thing, right? We don't have any hair up here. So we're growing it here to kind of compensate for it. It's really kind of sad when you think about it. Yeah, we got, yeah, I was throwing wrenches out like crazy because I got attacked by a bot on that last live stream. Was it the day before yesterday? It was crazy. I'd never seen anything like that. And so I was like, here, help me. I don't know what to do. Finally I had to end the stream and restart it, but that was crazy. Should I share you a like on Twitter? Only if you want to take a raft of crap right now. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Grow out a beard and comb up. That would sort of fall into my werewolf, already my werewolf persona, right? So then I would just be like, have this big old hair face. Oh my gosh. That's an excellent point. Gosh darn it. That is an excellent point. I may add it. You guys are convincing me that maybe I should add it. Well, I appreciate it. People on Facebook, I think, are nicer, although I haven't really looked on Facebook either since yesterday, so I don't know. Well, here's the problem with a printer, or you can't really get a printer this early because we're probably, best case scenario, if everything goes smoothly, right? I'm October, November, December, right? So hopefully I'm wrapping this thing up mid-January. because I'm penciling and inking this, right? I'm not just penciling it and then shipping it to an inker, so it's not going to go as fast as a normal comic would, but it's going to go. I'm not setting you guys up to say it's never coming out. It'll be out and it'll be out on time. But the problem is you get a quote for a printer and it's only good for sometimes just 30 days, sometimes 60 days. So there's really, I got a ballpark. I know about what this is going to cost me from previous experience. And I have several printer options, and we'll just see which one comes out the best, because I probably won't even get a quote till December for it. And then hopefully, like I said, with all the Biden shortages and everything else going on, the economy, who knows, if there's going to be any sort of delay in getting materials or whatever, who knows. But again, I should be done with it in plenty of time. I put in the launch date, the ship date of April, and I'd really like to think that I could start shipping in March. But I wanted to pad it a little bit in case there was some trouble printing on the back end. But like I said, you guys, I will keep you guys totally informed as we move forward on the project. Now that I've got the email blast figured out, those of you who were sign up early people, I'll use the emails to get in touch with you, but also I'll be posting stuff on my YouTube channel and on social media so people can throw tomatoes at it. And so you guys will always be in the loop. And, and I'll be on. Once I start working on the book, which is going to be probably in about 2 weeks, I may not live stream quite as much because I'll be, working, trying to get the book done. But I will always have my Sunday evening show, and then maybe, once or twice. Well, we'll have the professionals as well. So on Thursdays. So you'll be getting updates pretty darn regularly. This is interesting. What's this now? My daughter's friend found out that only 6 sets of her tires were available nationwide. She has to wait for them to ship. God, that is absolutely insane. Hey, Mike, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Getting all the little Presti books. That's going to be one heavy freaking box. The other thing that sort of makes me nervous, or I shouldn't say makes me nervous, but it makes me feel bad for you guys, is that more than likely, unless this goes, nuclear and we get 1,500 plus backers, I'm going to be shipping this stuff myself, packaging and shipping this myself. And I kept thinking, there's going to be a group of say 100 people, right? And they're going to be the first ones to get their books, right? And it's going to be like a month or 6 weeks, or depending on how many I've got to ship, right, before all of them are shipped out. So you've got these people that are going to get their books right away, and it's just going to be random, right? It's not going to be how soon you signed up. I don't think it is. It's going to be whatever order the emails are in or the orders are in. Maybe they keep in order. They probably do, because you guys have order numbers, right? So they'll probably be in order. But it's there's going to be people that have read it and are going, "Wow, I love this." I hope that's what they say. And then there are people I haven't even got mine yet. I'm I'm trying so hard, So it's just going to be one person is going to be the last person to get the book. And I guess maybe that's sort of a badge of honor, because they're not all. That's the thing. You're not all going to ship out at once. So you package them up, you ship them out. The next day you package up more, you ship them out. And I just keep thinking about those last few people that just by luck of the draw are going to be the last people to get the book. I kind of feel bad about that, but it's the nature of the beast. That's a good question. I don't really sell when I work on creator-owned books and stuff, projects. I don't really sell my stuff. I sold the 70s retro cover because I knew it would be very popular, and as much as I like it, I had to sacrifice some things to help fund the campaign. And the external stuff like the card art or the print art, things like that, is easier to part with, even though they're really cool images. They're not part of the book, right? And so even though people are drawing, there's a couple pages of people that are going to be drawn in the book, and then be characters in the book, and they will get that art. For the most part, I'm going to keep it. Now that, I don't know, maybe, we'll see, because, well, we'll just see. I don't know. I've still got practically all my Garbage Man pages. So I don't, and I've got all my Power Cube pages. So I don't really let that stuff go as readily as I would if I worked on Justice League or Wonder Woman or whatever. So we'll see. There won't be any more available in the campaign, I don't think. It just depends on where it ends up, right? And if I feel like I'm short where I need to be or something like that, then maybe I'll throw some more art options in there in the in-demand store or something like that. I don't know. We'll see how the campaign goes. But anyway, I guess I've kind of beat that answer to death, haven't I? Let's see. Let's see. Ship alphabetically starting with Chuck. Oh, I'm not even gonna look, man. You know what? I'm just gonna go down the line, fill the packages, ship them out, and that way I can't have anybody accuse me of playing favorites or not playing favorites or something. Yeah, don't let success discourage you. Well, yeah, it is a new thing for me to be widely disliked for no reason, but I'm getting used to it quickly because I have to. Oh, here we go. Okay, see, I don't know if I really want to reveal what I'm going to do next, because here's the thing. I've got a little Prestiverse that I want to get out there, but I also understand the value of the characters that are already been introduced and people wanting to see more of them. So I am toying, I'll throw it out there. I'm toying with the idea of doing like a big, like an anthology book, right? So you have a Kit Carter story in there. It'd be called something like Weird Adventures or something, right? And it would have Kit Carter's story in it. It would have the next Wraith of God story in it, and it would have a new Garbage Man story in it, right? So then we get those. So we get our two standards, Garbage Man and Wraith of God, which will already have been out in the marketplace. And then we get Kit Carter out there because everybody wants Kit Carter as well. And so then, and that would be like maybe a 64-page book, right? So each character would have, 21-page story, 20, something like that. And that way you get your fix of your established characters, but also can introduce a new one. And then maybe follow that format depending on how people respond to it, right? Because I want to get everything out there, and the problem is I can't do it all quickly, right? And that's sort of the tentative plan at this moment. We'll see how that kind of evolves and changes. I really desperately want to do I want to get like Kelly Jones and Kevin Nolan, and of course me, and do like a House of Mystery book, right? Like just a one shot that has these horror stories or mystery stories in them that all sort of tie in together. And it would be really cool to do something like that as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me see here. I'm way behind. You guys are coming at me fast and furious. Okay. Prater's here. Prater 7, thank you. Time to make more trading cards then, exactly. Aaron, okay, we did that. Let's see. I got the retro cover, and your covers were better than Terry's, in my opinion. Well, okay. In all fairness, Terry's not done. That was just like a rough layout. So you had to read the small print. That's a rough layout. So when I get that, I may not get that from until October, though, to be able to post it on there, which is, I know is going to hurt the sales of it because, you know, people can't really see what the finished piece looks like. But eventually it will be on there, even if it's in the in-demand store. So maybe we'll have a late surge for Terry's cover. Let's see. Will you do any stretch tiers? Now, what are we talking about, Mark? Are we talking about the Wraith of God campaign right now? Are we talking about the Wraith of God campaign? Because yes, there are stretch goals. If you scroll down past the artwork, the color artwork, it's right there between the color artwork and the black and white artwork that I used as examples of the art. The black and white, it's for sale, which is already sold, of course. But there's, let me see off the top of my head, at 30K, which we've already hit, we get the Empire sticker, Empire Comics sticker, the Empire logo comic sticker, right? That's the one that opens up the trailer. Then after that, there's a, what I want, okay, get a load of this. So I'm going to put in, you remember Stan's soapbox in, like in the old Marvel books, right? Well, I'm going to do something like that, but it's more of a discussion of the Loprestiverse and what you can expect coming up. And then I'm going to put a Loprestiverse character value stamp on that page, right? So it'll be another kind of like, what can I say? I'm retro. So I'm going to, and that's when we hit 40. When we hit 50 grand, which we want to do this weekend if possible, that'd be awesome. But we hit 50 grand, then I'm adding the 3-page epilogue into the back of the story that sort of explains the connection between Wraith of God and the Garbage Man trade paperback and the characters that are in the Garbage Man trade paperback. So that'll be, that's, okay, so that was 30, 40, that's 50. 60, I think we have an Esther trading card. So, which will be kind of a bummer for the people that didn't sign up early because they'll get the Esther trading card, but they won't get the Wraith of God trading card that goes with it. So I guess we'll have a hot collectible market for that. Actually, I'm going to overprint it a little bit so I can sell the Wraith of God cards for, you know, 10 or 20 bucks or something. I don't know. So if anybody that didn't get one would have an opportunity to buy it at that point. Then I have, I think the next one after that, 70, is, it'll be another mini print, but it's a mini print that will sort of preview the next Wraith of God story, which may or may not be a vampire story. So, and then after that, there's the playing card, the Ace of Spades, Wraith of God Ace of Spades playing card, which shockingly is way more expensive than you would think a playing card would be. I mean, it's like over 3 times as expensive as a trading card. It's just nuts. So that's why I had to move it up the tier, you know, so I had to have some extra money to actually pay for it. And then after that, the final one that's listed is a sticker set of Loprestiverse characters. And I don't know how many this is going to be. It could be anywhere from 8 to 10 separate stickers that are all going to be like, there'll be a Kit Carter, there'll be a Garbage Man, there'll be a Wraith, there'll be Nightclub that's first appearing in the Garbage Man trade paperback. So, you know, that's going to be really cool. I mean, that's obviously that's up there, you know, to hope to get to 90, but nothing's impossible at this point. So, but yeah, so that answers your question, I guess. In oh, I'm sorry, you weren't even asking that. Where you wanted to know if I had any sketch tiers. I thought it was stretch. I think we were talking stretch goals. Okay, I just wasted 10 minutes of everybody's time answering the wrong question. Not yet, but I might add some. I have quite a few projects I'm working on right now that I need to get done before this campaign closes and I start working on Wraith of God, like the pop-up book and a couple of covers and things like that that I have to get done prior to that. So I don't want to bog it down with extra sketch work, but I may do that. I may do that. That's a great thing. You can always go in and add, you know, tiers later. Well, sure. I think I've lost 60 to 70 followers, maybe more. I mean, that was as of last night, or actually the first thing this morning. So I may have, there might be, 100 people that have disdain for me right now. So, what are you going to do? I know my David Williams will tell you what a racist I am. Just ask him. Comics Legends on there. Thank you. I was glad I was able to do it. I had to call up Dark Horse and say, can I get copies of this, by the way? And I can. So, ooh, that's kind of cool, isn't it? It's not a bad idea. That was another consideration why I pulled it off on the last minute. It's kind of like you really want people to buy the book, and by offering them a cheaper alternative, it discourages them from buying the book, and I get that. So there's all sorts of weird marketing strategy and so many things you have to sort of keep in mind while you're doing this. Oh, Josh. Yeah, everybody on Twitter hates me. Well, not everybody, but there's a movement against me on Twitter now because I launched the stream on Ethan Van Sciver's show last night, quite successfully too, I might add. That was quite a boost. I'm very appreciative of the fact that he would offer to do that for me, because he actually offered me, said, hey, do you want to launch on my show? And I'm like, yeah. So that was really, I didn't expect to get, firebombed, but what are you going to do? That's right. Twitter is not real life, and that is. I remember having this discussion with Dan DiDio years ago, and him saying, he was like, don't ever listen to social media to take your cues about what you should or should not do, because those are the people that talk a lot, but they don't support anything. So it's why would I change something to accommodate a bunch of people that aren't going to buy the product? It makes no sense, so it just feels like there's more of them than there actually is. But I got to admit, it was hurtful. It was I just, I don't know. I expected some people to, give me crap, but I didn't expect there to be this just, waves of anger and, oh, you evil person. And my wife got in there and brawled with him pretty good. It was pretty funny. I just just got sick of it after a while. I answered a few of them and addressed a few of them, and then I was just like, I don't have time to do this. That's true. I'm anti-Hawaiian displacement in Las Vegas. I don't think that's a thing, but maybe we'll make it a thing. Oh, I did not take it well. I did not take it well because I'm not a type of person that's used to that. I'm the type of person that I don't want everybody to like me, or at least get along with me, right? And if I offend somebody, I'm the first one to run over and apologize. And I mean, generally offend somebody, not this pretend offense that everybody has these days. But if you actually say something or do something that really, wrongs somebody, I just feel horrible about it, and I'm the first person to go over there. And so it was really, to have my character questioned like that was very painful, because that's the one thing I hold in the highest regard is personal character and my own, because that's the one thing I can control. And so you see that and you're just like, but then you have to sort of reevaluate and go, these people don't even know me. They don't know me. They're making a value judgment on me based on the fact that I went and went and did promotion on somebody's show that they don't like. What? So if I go on the Tonight Show and you don't like Jimmy Kimmel, does that mean you hate me? You know what I mean? It's just the weirdest thing. It makes no sense. Neon Todd, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Well, you know, I had to come on here late last night to kind of get cheered up. That's why I came on so late. Well, I was originally planning to come on about right after I got off the launch with Ethan and do like a couple hours, right, to kind of keep that momentum going. But you know, my son called, and then I had another friend call, talk about the campaign, you know, and then of course we talked about what was going on Twitter and everything. And then by the time I got off, it was like 10:15. I'm like, I've got to go on. You know, I just can't go to bed like this. And so that was kind of my therapy to get, you know, you guys are my support group, right? And so, so I kind of, it helped a little bit, but I was reckless. I couldn't sleep last night, but I feel pretty good this morning. I kind of, I feel pretty good about it. I mean, I don't feel good about getting ripped on, but I feel, you know, you kind of come to the conclusion pretty quickly that it's like, you know, what can you do, right? I can't, I don't make decisions based on what other people think, you know, especially people that don't even know me and don't even know the situation. You know, they send me this, you know, like some news story about some guy who said he was Comicsgate who was arrested for being a pedophile or something. And you're like, I don't know this guy. I'm not responsible for this guy's actions. What does this even mean? Why are you sending me this? You know, I mean, that's the kind of stuff. And it's like, see what you're associating with? I'm like, you're talking about one guy who did something horrible, who said he was Comicsgate? I mean, are you kidding me? It's just, God, it's so immature. Anyway. All right, so enough of me crying in my milk. Oh, you know, someone just said something about Artemis Taber. Oh, yeah. No, I did that on purpose because I have to order, when I order the trades from Dark Horse, because they published both of them, I got to order pretty big quantities of them. And I just figured there wouldn't be much interest in the Power Cube as there would be in Garbage Man, since Garbage Man is kind of a parallel launch, you know, and more relevant and more current. So I figured there'd be enough interest in Garbage Man, but I haven't talked about Power Cubed in 6 years, you know, 7 years. And so I didn't want to put a tier in there and have like, you know, 10 copies, then I have to order 50. You know what I mean? So I put it in a, it's going to sound dumb, but I put it in with that massive, the Ultimate Lopresti package, right? Which is like $165. You get all the books. Because I figured, you know, I just didn't think there would be enough interest in Power Cubed by itself to be worth, you know. But I figured if I threw it in with the big package deal, that, you know, some people that really wanted to get exposed to everything that I had would get it. So I know that probably doesn't work for everybody, but it's so hard to come up with these tiers and figure out what's going to work, what isn't going to work, who's going to be happy, who's not going to be happy. You know, and you don't want, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong on this, but you don't want like 20 tiers, right? So it takes people a half hour to kind of figure out the math. Go, wait a minute, can I get 3 covers in 1 book, or should I get 2 covers in 3 books, or should I, you know what I mean? So it was an executive decision, and but that's the thing. So if you desperately wanted a Power Cubed, and the other thing is, here's the other thing. Full disclosure, you can go on Amazon and get a copy of the Power Cube trade paperback for like $5. So how could I rightfully take it and charge you 20 for it? You know, I mean, that was the other thing. And so if you wanted to get one, I've got a couple here. you know, and you want to get a signed copy or something, I was really, you know, you really want to get that, you can contact me directly, and I can just, you know, sell you one here, and you know, do it that way if you want. Or you can, like I said, you can go to, you can't get it signed, but you can go to Amazon and get it for like $5. So that was another big factor in determining how much of that I was going to put, you know, on the tiers. Um, Be backer 395. Yes. Let's get this up to 400, folks. Wow, Fox Mulder jumped in. So did you get the cover, or did you get the are you going to be in the book? Because I got a couple of and I don't know if I'm going to give you guys the choice, because I don't want people fighting over it and saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. But there's a gambling scene where there's a bunch of like seedy gamblers around this casino table. And so that's one of the pages where someone's going to be one of the gamblers. And then another one is at the end, well, not completely at the end, but the one of the scenes near the latter third of the book, there is in a, shall we say, a house of ill repute that's just outside of town. And someone's going to end up being a patron in there. So I won't draw anybody in you know, compromising position or anything like that. But so that be kind of fun. Oh, cool. So Fox Mulder is going to be in the book. Now, somebody suggested last night on my really late night live stream that I should, I'm going to start drawing here, that I should put like the professionals in different, in the comic, and I might do that. That might be kind of funny. Just have them walking around, you know, as town folks or something in the background, or because we do have some seedy looking guys in the professionals, so they would fit in really nicely. James GSR, backer number 374, checking in. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. The campaign is over 400. My contribution ID is 414. Are we up over 4? Wow, that's great. Oh, Kevin. Kevin got the print because the cover was already gone. Well, that's a good print. That's a really cool picture. I like that a lot. So I think you'll be happy with that. There we go. Brohawk Williams is in the house. All right. So, okay, let's go ahead and you guys can't see that, can you? Dang it. There's got to be, for crying out loud. All right, give me a second. Talk amongst yourself. I got to get a pencil. You know, I used to have an electric pencil sharpener, but I am really sold on these handheld ones. You can get a really nice point. The problem is they do actually get dull after a while, and you got to get a new one. And they're not as cheap as you would think they would be. This was like $8 or something. Well, I've got some use out of it though too, so it's not like it only worked on 2 pencils and then it, you know, I had to throw it out. Okay. I want to make sure my autofocus is off, and it is. Yeah, I heard that That's right. I know you were on there, that you got the other one. That's you guys cross each other. They have to fight over the page, right? See, I can't do that. I can't put you both on the same page because then I wouldn't be able to give you both the page. You know, I've heard that second episode was not that great. I wasn't in love with the first episode, although I did like the animation. I thought Agent Carter, I thought the faces were really good. I thought they did a really good job making her face like really pretty. She might have been a little too beefy, but she wasn't horrible. But the problem with those, you know, a short what if like that is they're relying on your knowledge and the characterization they've already done on in the movies, and so it, you know, it covers a lot of ground in a very short period of time, and it's kind of hard to get emotionally attached to the characters, so that in the ending, you know, when something tragic happens or goes wrong, you know, you're not really. It's kind of hard to feel bad for characters you're not really attached to that much. But just as like an animated thing, I thought it was pretty good. But I hear the second one is really not great. So I will. I'm going to check it out though anyway. See if I can get past 10 minutes. Yeah, David Williams, if you want to come on, man, just say so in the chat and I'll send you a link. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. That's what my mom always used to say, for crying out loud. She still does, actually. I'm amazed at how many. Oh, God. There we go. I'm amazed at how many like old sayings that I picked up. So my mom's 90, right? So she was born in 1931. And one of the things she used to say, and it's funny because I say it now as a joke to her all the time. This is really ticking me off. Is there a light situation going on here? See, it's this stinking white paper. I need to go back to the brown paper. She would always say, "You have more excuses than Carter has pills," right? And she would say this to me in the 70s. And when Jimmy Carter was president, and I was a little kid, right? So I thought, you know, Jimmy Carter had pills or something. You know, I didn't really understand the reference, but the reference, of course, is from the turn of the century. You know, the turn of the century when the 1900s became the, or the 1800s became the 1900s. There was used to be able to get vitamins and pills like Dr. Carter, right? That was this like a brand for way back then. So you get these pills, and it was Dr. Carter's brand, right? So this saying developed that was, you've got more excuses than, or you've got more whatever than Carter has pills, because Carter had a lot of pills. And so you can imagine me dropping that on my kids today, and they're like, what are you even talking about? And she used to say to me all the time, she'd go, "You lie like a rug." I always thought that was a good one. But my all-time favorite was, "You wouldn't be happy if you were hung with a new rope." And I am not kidding. And I don't know where in the world she got those from, but so I still say those to her, you know. She'll be downstairs in the kitchen complaining about something, and I'm just like, Mom, you got more you got you have more problems than Carter's got pills, or you complain more than Carter's got pills. So I am definitely in the wrong generation, that's for sure. All right, it's not a bad looking face. This is the beautiful Esther, the companion and troubled companion of the Wraith. She's actually I've kind of downplayed her. There we go. If I can hold this steady, we'll be all right. I've kind of downplayed her role in the campaign, but she's actually a pretty major character in the book. Because whenever you have to come up with these like paragraphs or you know, quick hits to sell a project, right? You know, you start writing this stuff down and it ends up being like 2 paragraphs long. You're like, okay, this isn't going to work. I got to cut, I got to cut, I got to cut. And so all the extra, you know, stuff that you think is really important, which is important to the story, but you can't include it in the sales pitch. So it all gets kind of dumped onto the editing room floor, as it were. And so Esther did not get the focus that maybe she deserved. And that's kind of why I had Terry do the cover, the Esther cover for me, because she is a major player in the story. You know, I say she's kind of the Wraith's Alfred, like Alfred is to Batman, but she's actually plays a more important role than that. I actually had to go in and research, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I'm not saying I researched what I'm doing right here, but like gowns from 1883, dresses that these women would wear, and traveling across the West in some of these outfits that they had to wear. Holy smokes! What a pain. I've ever watched Rustler's Rhapsody starring Tom Berenger. I know of it, but I have not watched it. That's funny. It's only 42. Only 2 generations removed from the Depression, as her grandparents' parents didn't have kids until they were in their 30s. Yeah. It's funny, the stuff that... Oh, man. Oh, that's a good one. See, there you go. Mike's with me. I still say lie like a rug every so often. Yeah. So maybe it's not that oh, Brohawk's got a cold, man. All right. Summer cold, or do you have COVID? Get well, man. I know Mike Miller's struggling right now. It's been really sick. Um, Yeah, you may be onto something, man. There's a lot of strange plugins going away. Yeah, the liver pills, right? Dr. Carter's liver pills. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know, I've been taking during this whole pandemic, I've been taking, speaking of being sick, I've been taking, I take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, 500 in the morning, 500 at night, zinc, and vitamin D. And I'm not a person who gets sick a lot. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've had the flu. I mean, it's been years. I had a cold right at the start of the pandemic for about 3 days. And I was kind of like, in retrospect, wondering if maybe I got a little COVID and didn't know it. Because my daughter was really sick in December, and so was my son. And, you know, and from what we know, it certainly affects young people a lot to a lesser degree than it does us older folk. And so, but who knows? You know, I've known people that had it and didn't, you know, it wasn't that bad. And other people, of course, it, you know, really wrecked them. So, but my mom got me on vitamin C when I was very young. So, kind of stayed the course on that. Should be, I think this should be a little bit poofier, actually. All right, so that's Esther from Wraith of God. We did the Wraith last night. Those of you who, I think it's on here. Yeah. So I did that last night as I was recovering from the social media onslaught. And then so now we got Esther. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is, all right, I got to pull up a little reference for this because these guys are now, a lot of these characters that are in this story are based on, and there's the dog barking. A lot of these characters are based on movie actors from like really old films, notably horror films. And my dog going to quit barking? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I'll be, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on everybody's show that I can get on. Trust me. What if you're allergic to gold? Oh my gosh. I have never even heard of Bud Bodeshire Westerns. Never even heard of that. Hey, Rodney got in the house and backed the project. Thanks, Rodney. I really appreciate it. What's this? My fifth grader had a cough and couldn't go back to school until he got tested. Even with a negative test, wasn't allowed back to school until Monday. Yeah, it's like they want you to get tested, and then they don't trust the test results. So it's like they want you to get vaccinated, but they want you to wear a mask after you've been vaccinated. So it's kind of like, well, what kind of a message are you sending here? You know, it's are you trying to tell us this stuff works or it doesn't work? You know, and so I don't know. I just think there's a lot of people that are scared about it, and it just, I mean, no one really knows what to do. I mean, how do you stop a virus? You know, you don't. You just be as cautious as you can be, you know, and then, but everybody kind of wants a solution, right? They want, All right. Excuse me. I got to look this guy up. Although I could probably, he's so well known, I could probably fake it, but I want to actually want something I can sort of look at. Now, here's an interesting question for everybody. Are you guys too young to have taken typing in school? Because that was such a key thing in school, was typing class. And the amazing thing is I still have the muscle memory to do it. Is that kind of... And my kids are like total hunt and peckers, right? They don't, okay. They don't, no, now I got to adjust the lighting again. Yeah, they don't really know how to type. They just, but they're so proficient on their phones and keyboards, not keyboards, but, computer, well, I guess computer keyboards, that they don't really need to know how to type. Or they get by without typing, I guess. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. Let's see. Somebody had me draw this character in at a convention. It's probably not going to be too hard to figure out who this is, or who it's based on, I guess I should say. But yeah, so I did a drawing of this actor. It's really difficult. But those are back in the days where I was like, you ask me to draw something and you're going to pay me to do it, then I'll do it. And now I'm a little bit more selective. So to give him more of a standard cowboy hat, I don't want him obviously to have the same hat as the WRAITH does. It's more like a detective's hat than a cowboy hat. I'm going to have to fix that. Now that's interesting. Look at that. When I was at school, boys were not allowed to take typing lessons. I wonder, Kevin, are you older than me? Because that was like, that was a, I mean, I didn't really want to do it, but I realized the value of, you know, of course, most of the girls were way better than I was, but I did learn the keyboard, and that was kind of the whole idea. No, you're getting close, though. You're getting close. This is funny. I'm a humble poor commentator, but I have saved money anticipating your project and was able to back. I can eat this when it comes right. I just put a little salt and pepper on it, it'll go down smooth. There you go. Oh, thanks, Defenders of Comics. I appreciate it. I don't want him to look exactly like the actor, but just kind of based on the actor. I've got to do something about that hat. Hang on one second here while I gotta. Yeah, it's based off Clint Eastwood, but I gotta get his eyes right. This squinty Clint eyes going there. No. Again, I'm not doing a portrait of Clint. I'm just trying to capture sort of feel him, because there's a sheriff in the story that is very Clint Eastwoody. We're not really sure if he's a bad guy or a good guy. He's very suspicious. I think someone asked me not too long ago on one of these live streams if if I could talk a little bit about the supporting characters, and I didn't really get into it, but I will now. So the idea is that the Wraith and Esther are tracking these werewolves or a werewolf. They're not even sure how many. And neither are we. To this small town in Arizona where this European monster hunter is hiding out. Retired monster hunter, if there is such a thing. And he has in his possession the amulet that the werewolves are trying to get, or werewolf is trying to get, so they can be invincible, or in other words, they can't be killed in their bestial form, right? So not even with a silver bullet or anything, they're totally safe. They have this amulet. And this is the sheriff with no name that works in that town. He's new sheriff, just got there, like a lot of other strange people. So that's the thing we have to be careful about. I watched Graham Nolan posting his pages from Alien Alamo, and it's kind of like, you got to be careful. How much do you want to give away? You want to keep people apprised of what's going on and how the campaign's coming, and give them little tidbits and tastes of what's coming up. But at the same time, you don't want to give everything away either. So I got to be careful I don't give you guys too much information. But basically, that's just that's just the premise that I just gave you. And today my goal was to kind of do sketches of all these secondary characters that make their way through the book. And are actually important players in the whole story. Let's see. Here we go. Just make it the Punisher from Do Some as a Man Named Frank. Jack Palance, close. No. Scott Eastwood looks like his daddy. He does. JP Roca just dropped in. Excellent. I picture young Clint Eastwood with a smaller, frowning face like those lizards from the Mario live-action movie. Oh, that's good stuff. See, I don't know if you guys are actually now guessing wrong just to annoy me, or if you actually can't tell. But it's based on Clint, regardless of who it looks like. And I say based, not, you know, it's not a portrait of Clint Eastwood. Yeah, there's a little bit of Clint in there, don't you think? I don't think there's anything more liberating for an artist than to just kind of sketch. Just kind of be loose and free. So that's the sheriff. All right, so who's next? Well, I got to dig up another actor for reference. Excuse me. And this was one that really surprised me when I found out more about this actor. Probably most of you have never even heard of him, but see if I can find a suitable. Sorry. This is always a little bit dull when you have to wait for the artist to find his reference that he should have done before he came online. That's good right there. I find this guy to be very interesting, and we'll find out in just a minute who I'm talking about. Okay, so there's a museum curator who's traveled all the way from the East Coast to, you hear my dog howling in the background. Who's traveled all the way from the East Coast because he wants to acquire this amulet for his museum, or the museum he works for, that this monster hunter has. Now this guy was in for crap out loud. Sorry, I keep forgetting it. I have to get this just at the right angle. You're not going to be able to see it. So this guy was in a lot of films. Charlie Chan, he was the first, I think, was the first Charlie Chan. But he was in my favorite Universal werewolf film, Werewolf of London. And I believe that was 1931. It seriously predated The Wolfman. And he was in it. He actually was a werewolf in that movie. Let me see here. Oh, you're so close. It's got Sidney Toler, but no, not quite. John Wayne, Boss Hogg, yes. Yes, it's John. How did you guess? No, it's not John Wayne. Boss Hogg's. That's actually closer. Oh, that's good. No, excuse me. The actor was Warner Oland. Now, here's the interesting thing about Warner Oland. If you look at a picture of him, he looks like he's Asian, but he's not. He was actually like Swedish or something really weird like that. And I always thought that he was of Asian descent. Now, I suppose maybe you could be Swedish and of Asian descent, right? You just were raised in Sweden, but I don't think that's the case. And so my guess is they put some, you know, makeup around his eyes to give him more of an Asian look. But I was completely fooled. I thought for sure, and I just learned this recently. He just has one of those sort of faces that looks very exotic, you know, even though he's apparently just, you know, was European, which I just never would have guessed. But anyway, he was in this movie, Werewolf of London. He was a Tibetan. So he kind of, you know, he looked that part pretty well. And so he is a character in this story. And yes, his name in the comic book story is Mr. Oland. So it's a direct how do you do to Warner Oland. But like I said, so many people will not even get it. But now you will, because you've been informed being on my live stream. He has this is a picture of him as Charlie Chan. But I want his character to be Asian in the story anyway. So I've been planning this for a long time, and then I just recently found out that he was like Swedish or whatever, and I was like, what? So, but I'm still going to go with the look just because of my homage to the classic Universal monster films. My guess is his estate may not mind. I don't know if he even has one. But keep track of his likeness. Seems unlikely. And I want to give him that like Charlie Chan derby. Kind of reinforce the, let's bring this down a little bit. To reinforce that if people don't get it, they won't, you know, it's fine. Because most people won't, but there might be a few outside of you guys who obviously now get it because I just told you about it. I gotta get that jawline right. It's actually not, all things considered, it's not a bad likeness of him. All right. So the museum curator okay, what's the thing? How can I back the book for someone else and I send it to them? Let's see. Well, I think what you'd have to do is you could order the book, but then send me an email or, you know, to let me know that, you know, what order number. Actually, you know what you could do? You probably, when you have to put your address in, right? Don't you guys have to enter your address? You probably just put their address in, right? Put their name and address and just pay for it with your card or whatever. I mean, it's pretty lame that I don't even know how it works because I haven't really. I mean, I've backed a campaign before, but it's been so long I don't remember. But I would think that you have to put your address in, don't you? What was that? Jeff Potts says, I'm looking at some of the Twitter comments now. Yikes. Yeah, it's that's pretty amazing how much heat I took for essentially doing nothing. Um, rather than attempting to, you know, draw likenesses of these, you know, actors in every panel, what I'll do is kind of, like I'm doing here, is develop sort of a comic book character sheet style guide or whatever, that I can just kind of look at this and, you know, because again, I want it to resemble the actor. I don't necessarily, I'm not looking for it to be like an exact likeness. I'll make him a little bit chubbier, maybe. Lady Celtic Moon goes in at 425. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So all the attackers came from one source, and who would that be? A person named Swashbucklist documented it from the start. I love it how none of these guys actually use their real names, right? Oh yeah, of course. They're not. Their purpose is to wreck people's lives, not to do anything positive. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people that, you know, who are planning on, you know, buying a book or something that now won't. But again, you got to go where your audience is, you know? Yours is? I'll take care of it. That was my mom. She's having difficulties, which means I have to go fix them. But so let's do this real quickly. Because I spent good money on it. Let's watch this trailer, and I'll be right back as I run to take care of this errand. Let's see if I can work this. How late am I? Man, you'd think I'm the only one home during the day. Oh, wait. So let's just pretend I was never gone. All right. Okay. Woo. All right. I'm not going to tell you what I just had to do because I don't want to ruin anybody's day. The only thing worse than being attacked on Twitter is when your black marker runs out of ink. So there we go. It's Warner Oland as Mr. Oland. Shelley Showtime's in the house, and she's a legend now because everybody saw what you did on Twitter, and they're like,
"Don't mess with my man."
Mad respect for Shelley Showtime, man. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Thanks. Yeah, don't mess with my family. They start like they don't even know you. Oh, don't get me started. Let's see.
That thing's going to cause an electrical fire with all those cables. I know.
What thing?
All the cables.
They saw?
See, well, because they can.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, so that's Mr. Oland, the museum curator.
From what?
Wraith of God. We're doing all the supporting characters.
Oh, I see.
The question is, what's his real motive? Well,
he looks kind of shifty.
You'll have to read the book to find
sketch.
out. Okay, now this guy's not really based on anybody, so I can just sort of.
Is that
what?
J-Dog? I don't have my
No.
glasses. The supplemental book, The Wrath of Shelley.
Yeah, that he had mentioned that earlier.
Hi, Jeffrey. Yeah, don't mess.
J-Dog was quite impressed with your tweeting.
Was he? Oh man, I was up all night doing it.
Oh, pardon my
I'm
shoulder.
like, don't. Well, you know what? It's just insane. It's insane. That's all I can say.
Yes.
And that
No, it's
because
badass Shelley Shredder.
oh my gosh, that is so funny.
New.
Well, and it's
400
because they
backers. How
don't
about that?
agree with you. They set out, make it completely personal, and want to destroy you. The only hate I saw on there were them. It was insane. Yep, you can't make sense of the senseless. That is true. But yeah,
Right.
they can say whatever they want about me. I don't care. But don't mess with Aaron, who is, yeah. I would say you're like probably the nicest guy in comics. You're nice to everybody. You treat everybody with respect. Oh. That's true. The crazies on Twitter don't deserve both of our attention. Yep, don't mess with my man. I know, and that's why I kept saying let it go, but I was like, oh. The fact that it was so personal and like, here's a list, people to destroy and send it out to everybody you know, and it's like, who are you? I was like, you don't even know it. Ugh. If it were Art's Mercy, he probably couldn't get away with his assistant. Without his assistant.
For Art's Studio, he probably couldn't get rid of that assistant if some fire started.
I'm going to go back and just kind of see what's up. I just got done tutoring differential calculus. And my brain might explode.
Yeesh.
You guys are so funny. Sorry, it's quiet. I'm reading everything.
You gotta read it out loud.
Well, you guys have already seen them, probably. I went back to the
That's
beginning. Scott Eastwood. He's delicious. So who's this?
This is the Gambler.
Gotcha.
He's one of the guys in the card game that someone will get drawn into.
Nice.
I gave him a little bit too much forehead. But we'll correct that in a minute.
It's a common occurrence.
He's kind of a snooty gambler.
Oh, not like me.
No.
Is leg kick here?
Leg kick is always
He's
here.
always here. Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a Doctor Strange vibe going on here. Can we get any more annoying sounds to come in that way?
Oh, my voice is annoying enough. We got Husker.
It's got to let us know that there's bottles to be chewed.
Yep. There's some good wisdom coming out of these comments.
Mm-hmm.
That does make me mad. I let him take my power. But the S in Shelly is super. Oh, that's so nice.
So yeah, if you guys make any comments or anything on Twitter to me, I probably won't be reading them for a couple days.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to kind of avoid the whole thing for
Let it die down. Because that's how they feel like, oh, they responded. I made them respond. But there's self-appointed importance that they're like the gatekeeper to what's right and what's wrong is laughable.
Yep.
But like I said, I'm one of them. The people that really know you. Well,
It's our air conditioning.
uh-huh.
It has miraculously cooled off from these brutal 100-degree days we were having. And looks kind of snooty, doesn't it? It's kind of a snooty looking guy. I'm going to have to go back and check my script because I haven't looked in so long, but I'm not even sure some of these characters have names. Like the gambler, the curator does. He's Mr. Oland. Oh, well, not a attack with the black again. See, we got talking about the Jack show in the. I don't even know what that is. Never even seen it. Never heard of it. I mean, I've heard of it now, but like Dale Keown was on that or something, wasn't he? Looks similar to the banker from Beverly Hillbillies. Oh, you know how long it's been since I saw the Beverly Hillbillies? Oh my goodness, that's funny. Yeah, it does kind of look like a Ditko Doctor Strange, doesn't it? No. If you know anything about me, you know my influences are mostly classical. Can we call Ditko Doctor Strange classical? I suppose we could.
They have an install on Monday, so they need to know like right away.
I know. What was the?
Oh, don't know if it's apples to apples or not.
Well, I got one more of these to do. Then we'll.
I have to let her know by 1:30.
Oh.
And it was supposed to be by 1, and I'm like, ugh. I'm like, you just don't know. He's live streaming. He can't just stop.
Well, based on the price, my inclination would be no.
Well, I'm wondering if it's, comparing the equipment. I'd rather do it Monday than November.
I know. Or well, October, I think was the other one, wasn't it?
I don't know. It's going to be 90 on Tuesday. I just love to hear our random conversation. Like, they are the 2 most boring people ever. Have you got all these done? Hi, David. Oh, David. I'm so glad I wasn't around people last night. I would have needed bail money. Oh.
Yeah, well, my guess is most of
Don't mess with my man.
most of those people would not put up much of a fight.
Hi, I can't read what that one says.
Oh, did I?
The name. I'm having
on
a
a
great day. That's so nice.
It's
I
Prater
need to
7.
have a good one.
There we go. So there's the gambler.
Shifty.
Oh, he's very shifty.
Oh, the stash. I like the stash.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go up top here for a minute.
Okay. Do it. Oh, that means I got to scoot.
She's like, "Yo, do it." Oh, wait a minute. I got to get out of the picture.
Wait till I'm not in the picture. I did brush my hair. That's about it. These are my teeth.
Or something.
Something.
Okay, so let's let's see what's trending on Indiegogo right now.
Nice.
Let's. Oh, sorry. Should I deny
No,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Don't know if it's gonna. You updated some software, didn't you?
I did.
And issues, they can always go.
Oh, I see. I've got to actually give it permission to do it.
Oh. Well, it's trending and it looks great. And you have the best backers and fans ever.
Oh, see, I said no, and it won't even do it.
Yeah.
Differently.
Differently.
All right. So anyway, I just wanted to take a look at the campaign. It looks like it's at 402 backers, $34,784.
Getting there.
Let's get that sucker to 35. Actually, I want to get to 40 before the end of the weekend. I think that'll make me feel pretty good about where we're at.
Awesome.
I know it seems like a lot of money right now at 34,000, and it is for less than 24 hours. But the when you take out shipping, printing, and platform fees, it gets whittled down pretty quickly. So I'm just trying to get enough money to actually pay for the comic. That's my goal. So anyway, if you haven't backed, please consider doing that. David is correct. There's nothing better than drawing your own characters. Good to see you doing yo thang, AA Ron.
Okay.
Yes. Wraith of God on main page under popular. It is.
Yay.
We're seriously talking about $1,700 difference.
Ooh.
We're talking about the air conditioner again.
Let's do. Oh, there's my shoulder.
Should go to Michael Bancroft's show. I don't know who Michael Bancroft is. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Any oddball characters? I think I just drew several. Yeah. Actually, there is a little girl in it at the beginning that's kind of funny. All right. So have we made a decision?
Go Big Red. I don't want to wait.
I know I don't know you, Aaron. I never followed any of your comics or participated in any of your live streams, but I'm so disappointed in you.
That is really funny, Jeff. Because that's... I don't know anything about you, but I'm going to stand in judgment of you because my self-appointed importance. Oh.
Hyperion's Atomic Vision. I just backed. Most excited I've been for a crowdfunded comic in a while. Go Big Red.
Nice.
Thank you on all fronts.
You.
How about that?
No, that it's just, yeah.
I know Charlie a little bit. I'll contact her.
Thanks, J-Dog. I just, yeah, I'm glad you're online because you start thinking like, oh my gosh, that one person with 3 followers, are they, you know, it's just dumb.
Indeed it is. All right, so we got one more I want to do here.
Let me see. Hold on, guys.
We're having a
Take a break.
Silent discussion about, hey, you know what? Let's take a look at that video one more time since I paid such good money for it. Well, we haven't decided anything.
No.
But how about that video? You know that big E in the middle? That's the first stretch goal, which we've already hit. Is that Empire Comics sticker? Okay, so I got one more guy here I want to draw.
Doesn't say what.
How much time do we have? 8 minutes. Did you look at
equal
the
capacity, but you want a bigger one?
No. I'm just saying that that's what he told me. Was that normally he'd do this, but they don't have them in stock, so he's going to recommend this, which is still more efficient. It was like an efficiency rating, and he said it's more efficient than the one we've got. It's a higher rated one, but it's not as high as you might normally go. But that might have been more expensive too. Did you look at what are they offering us down on the other one? The quotes on the kitchen table.
Oh no!
All right, so who am I looking for? I'm looking for. If I tell you his name, I'll give it away, right? So it's okay. Now I know. That's interesting. Now, this guy was, now that's really interesting because I didn't know this. But he was in a lot of Westerns later. Later in life. How about that? Huh. I'm stealing a picture off the internet right now so I can have some reference. There we go. All right. So there's no use making you guys guess because you'll never get it. So I won't do it. I'm going to, this guy, the monster hunter, the European monster hunter that has the amulet in his possession at the beginning of the story. I'm using the actor's likeness, and I'm using his name. It's Henry Hull, who played the werewolf, the other werewolf in Werewolf of London. So this was 1931, so he was already, you know, had to been around for a while. And so, like, there's pictures of him I saw, like, in a Western or something, but he was really old. So you got to figure, by 1931, he was, you know, he might even have been, you know, close to 40 or around that neighborhood. And so by the time he was doing those Westerns, you know, by 1950, you know, 20 years later, he could have been, you know, in his 60s or 70s, which is what he kind of looked like in the. I'm not doing a very good job here. I'll pull it together here in a minute. It's kind of hard to get the nose sometimes because the lighting is, they wash these guys out so badly that, so their features are more charming looking. It's hard to really tell. They didn't do it as badly as they used to do with the actresses, but with the dudes, but he still did it. Give them some glasses that automatically makes them look older. All right, I gotta go make a decision with my wife. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to do this for a second. I'm gonna go take a short break and be right back because I don't want to end the stream and then start it over. But you got a couple minutes to talk amongst yourselves, and I'll be right back. Hello. Hi. So what's All right, I'm back. Yeah, there's my legs. So for those of you on the edge of your seat about what we decided to do about the AC, nothing. And we're gonna have some hot days next week again, but it's really like the price variance between the two quotes was just like too much to sit there and go, whoa, wait a minute. The heck? And of course, thanks to the Biden's America, we don't have, I mean, everybody's short on everything, right? They don't even have all the air conditioner units available to them right now. So it's like they wanted to give us one that was like a little bit smaller than they would normally give us. You're kind of like, I'm not sure that's a great decision. So anyway, the heck with it. I'm going to call the other people and get some clarification, and we'll just go from there, right? Deciding not to decide is a decision. It's a bold choice. I think you're right. Just a unexpected attack on me for associating with Ethan Van Sciver for the launch of my Wraith of God. I got pretty soundly attacked on Twitter for it. I've always hated Twitter, but now I really hate it. I don't think he looks old enough. He looks actually sort of heroic in a way. He's kind of supposed to be kind of older, a bit more feeble looking. So I may have to see, give guy a little double chin, a little that ages him up real quick. All right. Well, he's a little bit older, a little bit grumpy. You know, if I did that, I gave him less hair, a little bit more receding hairline, that probably put him right in the ballpark of where I want him. So yeah, I don't just draw superheroes and monsters. Occasionally I do draw regular old people. Alrighty. So that's Henry Hull. Give him razor stubble. How did you know Kickstarter blocked you? How did you know how Kickstarter blocked you? I don't know. Did they? I know a lot of guys were talking about it last night. I hadn't been blocked. Maybe I probably have now that I'm public enemy #1. I'm sure that words got around to the new comic book liaison over Twitter that I need to be blocked. But there, I took your advice, gave him some stubble. I don't know, I don't want him to look too old. He might be right in the ballpark. So let's review, shall we? Well, maybe they didn't have the proper tools to trim the eyebrows. I don't know. Thank you, Prater. Appreciate that. I do paint with watercolors. When I'm doing the sketches and stuff, or what you'd call marker commissions, I tend to use that combination of materials, just the marker and the colored pencil, because it's more convenient. Watercolor requires more of a setup, and I use a blow dryer. So when I lay down a layer of color, it's pretty wet, and I don't want to sit around and wait for it to dry. So I take my hair dryer and I out and blow dry it, and that dries it up in a couple seconds. Then I can go in and lay down another layer over the top of it. So it's to do a painting like that, the setup and the cleanup and everything is much more time consuming and arduous, if I can use a big word. It's much easier just to go with the markers and the colored pencils. So that's pretty much what I do, at least for this type of stuff. But I mean, if someone came to me and said, "Hey, Aaron, I want a painted commission," I'd be all right doing that. All right, let's see what's in the old bag of tricks here. Look at that. I still got MODOK in there. Yep. Of course, MODOK's for sale because, well, everything's for sale. Okay, so let's go over a cast of characters. We have the WRAITH. He's our hero. Very mysterious, checkered past. Then we have his right-hand woman, Esther, former Salvation Army worker, beautiful young woman looking for her purpose in life. Now we've got the sheriff. Well, a little bit of Clint Eastwood in him. Probably be a little bit more by the time I get him into the book. That hat is way off, by the way. But anyway, so there's the sheriff. And, oh, I tore him out. Then, of course, we have Mr. Oland, the curator of the museum, who's trying to acquire the mystic amulet that the werewolves are after. What are his motives? Here we have the gambler. He sort of rolled into town about the same time the curator did. Does he play a bigger part in this mystery? I don't know. Find out. And then there's Moda. Oh, okay. He's not in it. And then, of course, we just did Henry Hole. He's the European monster hunter, secretly hiding out in a small town in Arizona, but his secret is out. So there's your main cast of characters. Actually, there's a prostitute and a bartender that I didn't draw yet, but Esther's the bright star point. Oh, I paint. I paint, Brohawk, I paint. I do. So people always ask me to do. So thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. Okay, so that's going to do it for right now. I was going to go all day. I think there's like a big show on Friday nights or something, right? Called Friday Night Tights or something like that. That's like a comic book show that everybody watches. So, because I was originally going to launch tonight, but I was told, no, don't do it tonight. And more than one person told me that. In fact, Micra, I believe in the chat, warned me. And then I was warned by others as well that no, don't go up against Friday Night Tights, which I've never seen, but I'm sure it's spectacularly wonderful. The Brohawk wants to see my paintings. Well, they're over there in the drawer. Maybe I'll do that. I should do a stream where I'm just kind of, we talk about painting and stuff. I mean, I'm no Joe Jusko or anything like that, but I can get around it a little bit and do okay. So, however, I used to mix watercolors with colored pencils all the time. So I would lay down the colored pencil, the watercolor, wait till it was dry, and then I would just go in and do like extra shading and colored pencil over the top of it. Because that watercolor gives the paper a real nice sort of, it's rough, but it's a coated surface that those pencils really work nicely on. So I used to do that all the time. Yeah, Friday Night Tights doesn't sell any books, but it's just pop culture, comic news, and talk, and draws big crowds. Wow. Okay, well, next live stream, which could be as early as tomorrow. Got to keep the momentum rolling. We'll talk a little bit of painting. That'd be good. Yeah, any cross promotion you guys can help me with is great. We need to get the word out there and keep getting the word out there and keep the ball rolling, because when momentum dies, these things tend to come to a complete halt. And I want to keep this thing moving forward as best we can. So, yeah, I would come back on. Like I said, I don't want to compete with that comic book show, but it depends on how late it goes, if I can remember to even check it out. But there you have it, people. Thanks for joining me. I'm sorry for all the interruptions and all the weirdness, but man, what a day. So hopefully Twitter will settle down in a while, but I'm like holding my breath. All right, J-Dog's giving me all sorts of ideas here on who to hook up with to promote this. So I will get on that, man. All right, guys, thank you very much, and I appreciate the support, especially during these suddenly turbulent times, and keep the faith, and I will see you guys soon.